Right, I know it was. But what does it say? Is it still says high school? We're getting my picture. My mother-in-law and her graduating class. They just said everybody, all the maids up here.
No, go ahead. I didn't know because
Oh yeah, he was.
I'm told that people are walking around. I gotta get them out. I don't know if Mark, you talked to Mark or.
Oh, somebody
but he
did.
doesn't
Yeah,
like
somebody
snooping
called.
around. You did, okay.
Yeah, they were.
And you can go.
From 1961.
All right.
We raised more hell in this place.
Can we go down?
Our old gym. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll
Gerard,
stay up
Where we
here.
play basketball.
Girardi's at the firehouse.
I took over. I was best. I wouldn't say.
Oh, look.
Okay, I'm confused. Yeah.
Who's that? Thought so. There's Joanne Bartek. And Maria Jonda and Guzman. That girl to the left is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Betcha. I mean, that kid was athletic way back then. There's that gorgeous girl again. The masked man. And there's Joanna, and there's Emily Benjo, and this is Jerry. There's Joanna, Paul, Velvet, in the background. There I am, class president. David, can you all hear me now?
No, sir. Hold it up toward your face.
Put the mic up so you can hear.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you go. You're gonna talk into it.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
All right.
Okay,
We have
ready?
contact.
Oh, good. We were young and very happy in Wharton, NJ. Curtis was our school back in the day. We were naive in the ways of the world, and we thought those days forever would last. We didn't know then, but we do now, how time goes by so very fast.
I suppose we often wondered what became of so-and-so. Well, we've been able to reconnect thanks to the internet and to someone we all know. Through this world of modern technology, which surely we didn't have back then, many of us have been able to communicate and have found each long-lost friend.
Don't know if many have done this before, but we've had the opportunity to because of one, to connect with almost our entire 8th grade class, the class of '61. Yes, we were young and in school, and then at some point we all had to leave, to go out in the world and live our lives, but are reunited today because of one classmate, Stu Cleve.
He found each and every one of us. He made it his personal quest, and we all started corresponding through emails, Facebook, and the rest.
Now, after Stu found so many classmates, he asked Carol Griffin to send emails out. He said if enough seemed to have an interest in a reunion, why, we potentially could have one, no doubt. So when Carol got her first response from her email questionnaire, she called Stu and said,
I got my first affirmative. Yes, Stu, yes. It's clear.
It was clear from this math major, along with her optimistic point of view, that only one affirmative was enough to say,
We're having a reunion, Stu.
so here we are after 50 years, many of us from our 8th grade class. Now to begin the reminiscing, I'll kick it off with me and Kathy Rydell, when all we did was laugh.
How about those twins we all remember? The Proctors, Andrea and Andrew. Well, once Andrea had to get eyeglasses, and they were very nice and brand new. But Andrea didn't like them, and cried and cried and cried. This story is true. And though her twin brother was in another classroom, her sadness he felt, and he cried too.
Guess who Stu calls loving mother superior of all the girls back then? You guessed it, Kathy Bragg, of course. She'd protect us again and again. Why, if those nasty boys would wrong us in any possible way, she'd get a hold of them all right, and plenty they would pay.
And do we remember how we'd have to raise our hands just to go pee? Well, sometimes the teacher would ignore us. And on that note, Paul Kuzik would completely agree. For once he raised his hand, I even think he waved. When he got no response at all, he ran out of the class in a rage. At least it was not like the day when a light fixture fell on Paul's head, and good old Mr. McGurty, just being himself, hollered out, "My goodness! Paul, are you dead?"
Mrs. Wilson one day to the class said, "Children, do not turn around. There seems to be a mess." But children being children, what do you think? They turned to see Cheryl Eulick throwing up on her desk.
So not with us today. How about Alice Tarrant? She was so skilled at tetherball, she would beat anyone, anytime, whether they were big or small. Billy Little remembered playing war with baseball cards on the playground, and he said Mr. McDonald had the loudest whistle around.
Well, Carol G. and Billy Little had an experience quite surreal. Why? They took lessons and shared an instrument. But what is and how do you share a glockenspiel?
Yes, we do.
Oh yes, do we remember the Girl Scouts that to earn their cooking badge one day made poached eggs that kind Mr. Hildebrandt tasted, and oh, the price he paid.
How about Betty Callahan's project for the science fair? 'Twas quite a chore. Why, she made constellations with lick and stick stars hanging from the ceiling, and Mr. Sahagan put a mirror on the floor. He thought it would be a good idea to see the constellations from a different view. Well, mischievous Johnny Martinez and Bobby Paulus, they had their own idea too. They gathered the girls together on that great mirrored floor. And lo and behold, their smiling faces told us they could see up the girls' shirts for sure.
Bobby did it.
Give it to Bobby, he'll do it.
Okay, one more for me since I haven't been real nice, and you can all have a big ha-ha. For I was so flat-chested, Kathy Rydell took me shopping for a bra. Well, that bra just did not fit me. There was nothing to fill the cups, so Kathy told me to stuff tissues there, which fell out of the sugar bowl during lunch.
Do we all remember when cute Coach Fitton led the girls to the park during his gym class? We marched along singing Army songs, and I bet many remember Coach Fitton and his darn cute. Yeah, well, after it. Ask me now about the day that class let out early, and so some got rides to the Baker Theater and saw the movie The Tingler. Great show.
There are more things we'd like to say about each classmate, but won't have the chance as this poem must end soon, so we can mingle, party, and dance. There sure were good kids at our school. Again, no time. So that's where it's at. Okay, what the heck? One more. Who is Hildy Brat?
Well, the rest of this poem is all about the days back then, and I'm praying that most of us will remember all this. We're getting a little older now, I'm just saying.
There were nice restaurants, churches, and our schools. We had a really nice town. We had mellow rolls at Prendato's and even candy stores around.
And we all remember Rockies and the pasties that they sold. Why they were so scrumptious, one could eat them hot or cold.
And how about those school dances? Girls on the left, boys on the right. We do the Watusi, the stomp, and the mashed potatoes, and the locomotion, all into the night. We sure had fun at those dances. They were truly pretty keen. And how about Joanne Estwin and Ted Phillips, our 8th grade dance, the King and Queen. And we danced shyly to the music of songs like In the Still of the Night. We'd dance with arms entangled, and we'd hold each other tight.
We had soccer and basketball, and the guys made great teams. Of course, there were cheerleaders rooting on the sidelines with lots of big screams. We'll remember the girls and all their good looks.
And we'll remember the boys who carried our books.
Really?
We'll remember our lives and the joy we all shared. The Curtis gang, who had no fear.
And yes, that's when the Lord's Prayer in class was said each day. Then we pledge our allegiance to the flag of the great USA.
Bobby Paulus gave me the title for this poem, so to the class of '61, Bobby's title is quite apropos, for it's one for all and all for one. In closing, I'll say it's just awesome that we are all here to reunite and have some fun. Please God keep us safe on our journey home, and God bless the class of '61.
And Andrea's going to help me pass a copy of this to each one of you to keep.
There is a revised class contact list right there at the corner of the bar next to the column. If you need a revised list with everybody's current address, email, etc., please pick up one.
Have your attention, please. Now, in the poem, Darlene mentioned the first person to give a positive response and register for the this reunion. In wondering what the best prize would be, I remembered the peanuts that the mothers used to have, and we used to sell for the PTA. Boris and Marianne, please come and get the last bag of PTA peanuts. And happy anniversary.
Thank you.
I called her up one night. I said, gotta come get me. I didn't get it right.
You got it right.
I was supposed to look in the
My father always had to go from top to down. So it's
There's my mother and father.
Isn't that great? Alice without any teeth.
House without any teeth.
She had all her teeth pulled.
Mr. Look. If you still
Hey, you like my jacket, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm living on the dances. Basketball. On one side, boys on the other. And they were cool back then. That was it.
I'll have to look, but I have to.
Oh no, I'm sure they were.
And I'll send it to you.
Okay, you send it to me in email.
There you mean.
That would be great.
Because I have them as individuals and then I have them as PowerPoint.
Okay, that would be
I remember
wonderful.
going into an oratorio with you and your mother and somebody else listening to your sister's class
And sing class.
in New York City.
What was that?
My old man used to talk
Did you see Prom? Yes, I did.
That's pretty cool.
you come.
Here we are dancing.
He said, hey, you want to go? I said,
I saw my mom
he said,
though.
I'll pour it out of my gourd. I said, I'll go.
That's more fun.
Start dancing.
Wouldn't even recognize my name.
Funny what you remember.
Oh, that was me? No, I didn't. I saw this part.
Nobody else is that. No, I can't place him.
Smaller guy?
That's just
Oh, darn.
Oh, yeah, the bag.
Well, it was a unanimous decision of who the king and queen of the 50th 8th grade reunion is going to be. Yes, and since the king is here, he will crown the new king, and we'd like to present the crown to Stu Cleave. Hard work. The new queen is Carol Anderson. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Let's get this dance going.
Well, so much for that.
Spotlight there.
Now we need cake.
There you go.
You're all supposed to join in.
So he's here and wait, stop, Dom. I cooked
No,